We've got some breaking news. It's about Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. Let's talk to our royal correspondent, Cameron Walker. Tell more.
Yes, it's now been widely reported that police have arrived at Wood Farm on the Sandringham Estates, where we know Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is staying. Of course, it's also his 66th birthday. So what has been reported, and I must stress that GBNews cannot independently verify these reports at this stage, but according to The Sun, The Telegraph and the Daily Mail, 6 unmarked police cars have arrived around 8 o'clock this morning at Wood Farm. At 8:30 a.m., according to The Sun, 3 of the vehicles left. As things stand, plainclothes police officers remain on the scene. Now, of course, we don't know why. This could be something totally unrelated to the Epstein files.
I doubt that very much.
But of course, we have gone to Norfolk Constabulary for comment. Of course, the local police force up in Sandringham. I've also contacted Buckingham Palace. They are not commenting further at this stage. But I think it's safe to say that clearly they are police officers on the scene at the house that we know Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is currently staying in. Now, of course, there are a number of allegations against Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. He has always denied the allegations against him. We have gone to him several times for a response to the since the latest tranche of Epstein files have been released back in December last year. He has not responded to any of those claims. Remember, he was trade envoy up until UK trade envoy up until 2011. There are allegations that he passed sensitive government information onto the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. As I said, Andrew's always denied allegations of wrongdoing, but he hasn't responded to those latest comments. Of course, there are allegations of sex trafficking and all the rest of it as well. So that is all the information we have at this stage. It's been widely reported, just to repeat, that 6 unmarked police cars have arrived at Wood Farm on the King's Sandringham estate, where Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is staying. The Sun is reporting that 3 of those cars left at 8:30 a.m. this morning. Police remain on the scene. Plainclothes police officers remain on the scene. The police have not officially commented, neither have the palace, and we cannot independently verify at this stage. Of course, as soon as I have more information, we will bring that straight to you here.
I wonder if they're taking stuff away. 6 police cars is quite a lot, isn't it?
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
Oh, they take computer files, letters.
Fascinating. Well, Cameron, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we will hear more from you later in the programme.
Now, we're just going to go back to Cameron Walker, our royal correspondent, because he's got more on this dramatic development at the home of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor.
Yes, we've got some breaking news coming to us in the last few seconds. It has been reported that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. As soon as we have more information on this, we will bring that straight to you. As we have said, it has been reported that a number of plainclothes police officers and plain police cars have been spotted at the home of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor at Wood Farm in Sandringham. It has now been reported, as I must say, these are reports at this stage, that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, King Charles's brother and Prince William's uncle, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. We will, of course, bring more analysis to you as soon as we can.
Well, that is extraordinary, dramatic news. I was speculating that with so many police cars there, perhaps they were taking away data and documents, which indeed they might be, but this is extraordinary. Arrested a senior member of the royal family. He is still, of course, 6th in line to the throne.
Absolutely astonishing stuff. Can you imagine that a few years ago, the King's brother being arrested? Really, really massive bombshell for you there.
Hello, I'm Bev Turner. Now, it can feel like the money in our bank accounts at the moment does not keep up with the cost of living, and maybe there's a solution. I'm here today with the CEO of TallyMoney, Cameron Parry. Cameron, what is TallyMoney?
Well, Bev, with TallyMoney, you get a current account and a debit card, but instead of pounds, you use milligrams of gold as your everyday money.
So why gold?
Gold traditionally is a great store of value. It has, on average, gone up at over 11% per annum for the last 25 years against the pound. It's tripled in value in the last decade. And in the last 2 years alone, it's increased by 50% against the pound. Banks' savings products just can't compete with that level of growth.
But this isn't just about gold. This is about a currency that you guys have created at TallyMoney. Explain it to me as though I'm an idiot.
So, look, people need to be able to hold their earnings and build their savings in a money that retains its value and remains in their legal control and remains theirs to access, away from government control.
Great. You had me at not exposed to government control.
You should feel safe and happy with your money. You should have peace of mind the more money you see in your bank balance, and that's the type of thing we're trying to deliver, and give people choice in the type of money they get to use every day.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Cameron. Thank you.
Well, we've been doing this show quite a long time now, Juice. We do not had a news flash like that, frankly. The brother of the King, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, arrested to do with improper behaviour in public life. Cameron Walker is our royal correspondent.
Yes, we can now confirm. Thames Valley Police have confirmed that Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Earlier today, we had, pictures circulating appeared to show plainclothes police officers and unmarked police cars arriving at the home of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. That's Wood Farm on the King's Sandringham estate. Now, Thames Valley Police had previously said that the force were reviewing allegations that a woman was trafficked to the UK by Jeffrey Epstein to have a sexual encounter with Andrew, something that clearly Andrew has always denied, but also, and this is the crucial bit containing the arrest, claims that he shared sensitive information with the paedophile Epstein while serving as the UK's trade envoy. And just to repeat, Andrew has been arrested only on suspicion of misconduct in public office here. So it is the UK trade envoy allegations that appear to be why the police are investigating here.
And in a sense, that's easier for the police to investigate because there is a paper trail, there are a series of emails with Epstein and others. Only yesterday I was reading one, Cameron, he was talking to an American financier about the scale of his former wife's debts. The suggestion was he'd exchanged sensitive information. This was in 2010 when he was trade ambassador, where he had access to governments all around the world.
Yeah.
And had access to all sorts of highly sensitive, market-sensitive information.
Yes, absolutely. And just to recap for our viewers and listeners who may not be entirely across this story, a huge tranche, 3 million documents of so-called Epstein files released by the US Justice Department in the United States, which included a number of email exchanges between Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor and the late paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. And as you say, Andrew, in these messages, it did appear to suggest a number of allegations. Of course, he has to be quite careful now because there has been an arrest and the case is now active. But we had previously been told by Thames Valley Police that they were looking into these allegations that Andrew had allegedly shared sensitive information with the paedophile related to his time as trade envoy to the United Kingdom. But broadening this out slightly here, this is highly, highly significant. This is a man who is 8th in line to the British throne legally still. Technically, he is still the Duke of York, although he's been removed from the roles of peerage, but it does take an act of Parliament to legally remove that title. He is also the brother of King Charles III and the uncle of the Prince of Wales. This is absolutely extraordinary and a historical moment that a member of the royal family, or still a relatively senior member of the royal family, has been arrested on misconduct, on suspicion of misconduct in public office.
I'm just looking back, and it puts it all in perspective, because I remember covering it. In November 2002, Princess Anne was the first senior British royal to be convicted of a criminal offence. Yeah. What was it? Two of her English Bull Terrier, Dottie, bit 2 children in Windsor Great Park. She pleaded guilty and received a £500 fine, £500 compensation. I mean, people have naughty dogs. This is
bit of a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
This is going to reverberate all around the world because the Epstein story is huge all around the world. He is the late Queen's favourite son. There's going to be renewed scrutiny now, Cameron, of the decision of senior royals to give him or lend him £12 million to make the Virginia Giuffre case to go away. That was a 17-year-old girl in the photograph with Andrew, and Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison for trafficking girls. Was that the right thing to do? What did they ask? What did they know?
Well, there absolutely will be, Andrew. And as you say, even Sir Keir Starmer this morning said nobody is above the law in a pre-recorded interview.
Well, he'll have known that arrest was going to happen.
Well, quite possibly. I wouldn't be able to speculate on that one. But, as you say, it calls into question not just the conduct of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, but also the wider household and what was known by the wider household. Of course, we have separate allegations that the Metropolitan Police are looking into around what Andrew's close protection officers knew or didn't know at the time, but he was UK trade envoy and still a working member of the royal family. There's also questions as to how, allegedly, people were taken into Buckingham Palace to have encounters with Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor without having proper security clearance. Yep. It could be potentially a national security issue. Of course, as we've said, just to repeat for those of you who are just joining us, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. This goes, kind of far beyond that issue in itself. Clearly, it's a huge stain, to put it mildly, on the reputation of the monarchy. The King tried to do as much as he could with the power he had back in October by stripping Andrew, his brother, of all the titles that he had, including the Prince title, which was an incredibly unprecedented thing to do, essentially forcing him out of Royal Lodge, which is a Crown Estate property where he was paying peppercorn rent, to live in Wood Farm on the Sandringham estate, privately owned by the King, so there was no taxpayer burden. But I think the public will be questioning here. He is still eighth in line to the throne and still a member of the royal family, for better or worse. And it's only Parliament that could change that. But it's still going to be hugely, as we have seen, overshadowing of all the work of the royal family and, of course, the Prince of Wales too. Yeah.